Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead, and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you so very much, and I've just been going through the comments. I don't always get to your emails on the very same day that you send them, and I am now going through some of the struggles that some of you had with our anniversary sale last week. And again, I just want to deeply apologize for that. PayHip cut it off without us knowing about it. We had no control over it, and I'm so sorry. It is always a good thing that whenever we have a sale, that sale price will show on the books when you hit the buy button. If it's not showing, that means something has gone wrong with the sale. But I'm not going to trust them automatically anymore the way I did on that last sale. I'm going to be doing the rest of our sales by hand. I will push the start button. I will push the stop button. And I'll probably push the start button just a few minutes before it's scheduled to start, and the stop button just a few minutes after, just to make sure that everybody who wants to have the sale price on things has an opportunity to do so. I also want to remind you that tomorrow we have a special video coming. It is called Jim's Reveal. Don't miss it, especially those of you who were not able to catch the sale price. Does he ever have a big surprise for you? And it won't last very long. So tomorrow is the day, and then it is over. So watch his big reveal. It's like a 2-minute video where he's going to explain. Today, we are going to do something that has been requested by many of you, especially those of you that attended this class, Sprouting Wheat for Flour and Bread. That was one of our video classes that aired, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was all about how to sprout grains, wheat in particular, and then how to turn it into flour and then to make bread. And I promised in that video that I would do some follow-ups with different types of wheat, different varieties of wheat, because on that video the only thing that I used was white winter wheat. White winter wheat is as close as we can come to regular white flour, and it does a beautiful job in baking. And so that's why I chose that particular one to start with. Now, today's video is on making sour cream bread with sprouted spelt flour. Now, in my trial for doing this bread, and oh, it is so good. I did get the recipe online, but I had to change it around. And so I'm not going to give you that link because it wouldn't be the recipe that we're using today. The recipe that I'm going to use today will be in the description of this video, right below this video. But I'm only going to put the ingredients there and the amounts of the ingredients. For the method of mixing, I'm going to refer you to the video because it just needs to be seen rather than read to fully understand it. And it is the same method that I introduced in this class when I taught that class. So Spelt is a variety of wheat, and we are going to use our sour cream that I have reconstituted from our freeze-dried powdered sour cream. I used boiling water to reconstitute this sour cream, and it came out just perfectly, so we're going to use this sour cream. But first we are going to mill our wheat in my grain mill, the Como Mio grain mill. As you all know, I'm a stickler for reading the instruction manual on things and then operating things as they are supposed to. So I want to just urge all of you to be sure that you know, regardless of the brand of grain mill that you may have, how to properly mill the wheat so that it doesn't ruin the motor. Now, for this particular one, in the instruction book, it said to be sure that you have the motor running when you add really hard things like corn or rice, only those two things. Otherwise, I can pour wheat in and then turn the motor on, and it's just fine because wheat is soft enough. The reason for that is that if it's something really, really hard, like corn or like rice, it will go down and get in the mill and it will stick, and then the motor will be stuck. And so the grist, which is whatever you put in the mill, needs to be soft enough that it will go through without issue. And wheat is just fine for doing that. So we're going to need 2 cups of spelt. So here it is right here. We processed this over the past 4 days, and I have now a quart of spelt that has been sprouted and then dried in my dehydrator, just like I described in that class. So I'm just going to pour in, we need about 2 cups, so I'm guessing that that's going to be close. And then I have it on very fine. So here it is. I think we have close to 2 cups. Let's see. Now the recipe calls for 3 cups of flour. I'm using 2 cups of the wheat and 1 cup of bread flour, but you can do whatever combination that you like. If you want all wheat, you can use all wheat. And I also think that this recipe is robust for whatever kind of wheat you want. When I made it at first, as I mentioned, it was with the white winter wheat, and now we're making it with spelt, and I predict that the recipe will turn out just fine for spelt as well as it did for white winter wheat. There's 2 cups, and then I'm going to put what's left of this flour in the bottom of the cup. And then on top of that, I'm going to add bread flour. The reason that I'm adding the bread flour is I want the gluten that is in this bread flour. But you can make your choice. All right, we have our 3 cups of flour. We need to have 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of yeast, and because we're using sour cream, I'm going to be putting just a pinch. This soda is hard. Just a pinch of soda. Okay, I'm going to be mixing this, all dry ingredients together. We are going to use our sour cream that I have reconstituted from our freeze-dried powdered sour cream. I used boiling water to reconstitute this sour cream, and it came out just perfectly, so we're going to use this. Here is our sour cream, and it's been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple of days. I wanted to make it up early. And we are at 1/2 cup. And we have 3/4 cup of water. Now I'm just going to add part of that. I want to get a sense for how this is going to mix. All right, this spelt is absorbing more liquid than the white winter wheat did. So I may even need to add more water. And we need to be mindful of that when we are making our bread. We need to go with the flow.
No pun intended.
That's right. Okay, this is still a little bit too dry. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay. Ooh, smelling really good. Okay, this is done. So now, the method that I use is the same one that I showed in the class, and I developed that especially for sprouted flour. And I'm not going to add any more flour to this if I can possibly help it. So in order to make sure that my hands don't get all sticky, I'm going to dampen them. Although I think this dough, no, I need to dampen them. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the caterpillar, as I call it in the class. This is a mixing step, and I'm going to do it 4 times. So I'm just mixing ingredients right now. So there's 3, 2, 3, 4, and done. Okay, this is quite sticky. We are going to do 4 stretch and folds. A stretch and fold includes me doing northeast, southwest, fold, stretch and fold, and then a rest for 15 minutes. That is 1 stretch and fold. It takes 15 minutes and a few seconds. So here we go. Here's our first one, and I'm stretching and folding. I did the north. Now, here's the east, and see, it came apart. And it will at this stage, nothing to worry about. So now I'm south, and now I'm west. And then I'm going to roll it up in a ball, and we're going to, this is very sticky right now, and it's crumbly, came apart, not crumbly, but it came apart easily. So I'm going to put that over the top of it, and I'm going to tell Siri to time it for 15 minutes, and I'm going to put 4 markers up here. So right now, we are doing the first stretch and fold. In 15 minutes, I'll remove one of these markers, and that lets me know that I have 3 left. So we'll be back in 15 minutes and do another stretch and fold. Just completed number 1. So, wetting my hands. And we can see the yeast is at work here. Oh yeah, you can see that it's much more elastic. That's north, east, south, and oh, it's coming along nicely. All right, see you in 15. Stretch and fold number 2, finished. So, I've already wet my hand. Ooh, this is looking really good. Oh, yes.
Which direction?
South. Oh, now you mixed me up. I was saying it in my head. Okay, so that's it. So it is smoothing out just a little bit. If it doesn't smooth out completely, I may add just a tad more flour when we do the last one. So there we go. See you in 15. Third one is finished. So let's see. My hands are wet. North, this is for Jim. East. South, oh, it's coming along great. And west. It gets harder with each successive stretch. Okay, under the pan for the last round, and when this one is finished, I have our pan all ready to go. So, see you in 15 minutes.
I'm directionally challenged.
All right, 4th time finished. So, let's get this shaped. Oh, it's looking pretty good, but I am going to use just a tiny bit of flour. I just like it to be a little bit smoother, knocking all the air out. And then we're going to just roll it up. And I like to do a little pull right here to put some tension over the top. And then we're going to knock it down all the way around. Tuck it in on the edges. Then we're going to cover it with this grocery bag, which has been stearined on the inside and is clean. And we will be back when it is ready to put in the oven. Our bread is ready to go into the oven. It has crowned, meaning that it's come up above the edge of the pan about an inch. It's not even, but it's homemade, so it's not going to be even. And then the other thing is, I don't wait until it's double in size, or I don't proof it for 90 minutes because everybody's kitchen is so different. Let the dough tell you. So the first thing is that it's crowned, and then the second thing is I'm just going to poke it in right here, and if it comes back out very slowly like this one is doing, that means it is proofed and ready. If it bounces back fast, you push in, it bounces back, it is not ready. So we have the two signs that tell us that this is ready to go into the oven, and it's going to bake approximately 40 minutes, but again, I don't go by the time. Rather, I go by the internal temperature of the bread. And so it should be between 195 to about 200. So we'll come back when the bread is coming out of the oven. Here it is, 199 degrees. So it's just perfect. It really turned out nice. It has a nice lift to it, beautiful color. So let's get it out of the pan. Oh, it's great all the way around. Okay, so we're going to let this cool for a little bit, and we will be back shortly and cut into it to see what the crumb looks like. It has cooled about a half an hour, so let's take a look at the inside and see what it looks like. It's very soft. And there's the crumb. It's beautiful, just beautiful. It smells great, and I'm going to take just a little bite without butter. I wanted just the full taste of the bread. It was a nice bite. The flavors have blended beautifully. I can't particularly taste the sour cream, but there is a different sort of a tang, a taste with the bread. It is just fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And oh, it's so good. It tastes nutty like wheat does, but this would be just a great, great bread for just about anything you would use bread for. And I also believe that this would work not just for the two flours that we have used already, but for any of the wheats. I'm still going to be trying a recipe with kamut sprouted flour and with einkorn. And then after that, we'll see how it goes. So thank you for being with us for this experiment in working with spelt, and especially with sprouted flours, which I'm really enjoying, and hope you are too. So try the recipe. It will be below in the description under the video, and we will see you very soon for another video.